New at noon, police at Michigan State University providing an update on Monday's shooting that killed 3 students and injured 5 others. The victims, Brian Frazier, Ariel Anderson, and Alexandria Verner. Here are the 3 major takeaways from today's update with police. The shooter was carrying 2 handguns during the shooting, which he owned legally. He was also found with additional magazines in his possessions. We have learned that 19 police departments and 6 fire departments responded to the shootings. Police are also not identifying the names of the injured students, who are all still hospitalized. The police chief of MSU saying students rallied together during the shooting to help each other out. 13 on your side's Trevier Gonzalez joining us now live from East Lansing. And Trevier, what other new details have we learned today?
Hey Kirk, that press conference ended just about an hour ago, and it started and ended with the closest thing we can get to positive news during such a dark chapter of MSU's history right now. Now, one of the biggest things I do want to bring, and that was at the very last thing, was that one of those 5 people who were in critical condition, well, now they are stable. Now, at the same time, as you had mentioned, Kirk, they are withholding the names of those who are hospitalized. Now, in addition to learning that McCray had those 2 firearms on him, state police also commented on the Lansing Police Department's interaction with McCray. Now, you might remember that was almost 4 miles away from campus. State Police Lieutenant Rene Gonzalez said 2 officers got out of their vehicle and then ordered him to show his hands. McCray, this was about 20 feet away, then took his own life. The lieutenant then adding that based off of the body camera footage, that it doesn't appear that anything was said, that he stated anything before taking his own life. Now, MSU police was also asked about the timetable and response, and a question about providing the media that photo that we saw. You might remember that was a little bit after 11 o'clock. I believe it might have been 11:30. It took time, and we asked, the press collectively asked why that was the case. They ended up saying that this is because they have thousands of cameras on campus, and it took time to locate that. They also mentioned that they do not have real-time cameras monitoring. Those capabilities are not available right now, although they have stated in the fall that is something that they are working toward. Now, this was also, on that positive end, an opportunity for the MSU Chief of Police to share stories of not only police stopping to render aid to those who were injured in this shooting, but students as well.
Our students that were in Berkey Hall, in addition to being placed in situations that they probably have never been encountered with before, when their students and their friends and classmates needed assistance, they rendered aid. They took the time to render aid with that. The officers that responded and were in the buildings within minutes.
When it comes to how McCray was able to get out, officials mentioned it is hard to determine how this happened, though they described it was a fluid situation with a lot of hysteria. Also added to insult to injury is just because so many people were listening to this scanner traffic, which was not completely confirmed, that added to the level of questioning and that hysteria, as I had mentioned. Now, classes are set to resume Monday. A question that was asked by the press collectively was, is there the possibility of having remote classes during a situation like this? At this point, they said this is something that they are still exploring, but at this point, everything is just fluid in that way. I do want to get to just one last thing. In 2019, McCray was charged on a concealed carrying weapons charge. He was then questioned about that, and our understanding was this was something that was later dropped by the prosecution after some level of agreement. And this is something that the Lansing Police Chief mentioned would be scrutinized in the future. Live in East Lansing, Trevier Gonzalez, 13 on your side.
Trevier, thank you. While police do not plan to release the identities of the 5 students who remain hospitalized, the university did provide an update on their conditions today.
5 students at Sparrow are still in critical condition, but I'm pleased that we are seeing some signs of improvement in some of our students. And our Spartan Nation continues to send good thoughts to each of them, to their families, and to the doctors and nurses at Sparrow Hospital. As I've said before, grief is a profoundly personal thing, And we know from trauma experts and from talking to colleagues at other universities who have experienced similar tragedies, everyone grieves differently, and the recovery process isn't linear.
Students returned to Berkey Hall this morning for the first time since Monday night. They were able to retrieve their belongings after abandoning them when the shootings began. 1300 Side's Veronica Ortega is live in East Lansing for us. And Veronica, you spoke to students and family members after they left Berkey Hall.
That's right, Kirk. The overwhelming feeling from those students is sorrow. Berkey Hall is where 2 of the 3 victims lost their lives. One student who went back inside today said it gave him the chills. The process began at 10 this morning. Emotional support dogs and their handlers stood outside of Berkey, offering comfort to everyone coming in and out of the building. Students who left their items behind were asked to present their student ID before they were escorted one by one into the building by personnel from the FBI. Students we spoke to say being back in that environment is hard, but a necessary step forward.
It really is surreal, and sleep doesn't come easy really. There's a lot of thoughts going through your head, so with all the support it helps, but everyone's just trying to get through it one day at a time.
Remember what happened and remember what we went through, but also enjoy life how we did before and not let this affect us for the rest of our lives on campus and for our next 4 years here. I don't want to let that happen. So it's going to be hard, but we're gonna go back. We're gonna be back to normal. It's going to be okay.
It's estimated that more than 100 students left their belongings behind on Monday. The president of MSU announced that Berkey Hall will remain closed through the end of the semester. Meanwhile, the MSU Union Building is still being assessed. In East Lansing, Veronica Ortega, 13 on your side.
Veronica, thank you. Last night, hundreds of people came out to honor the victims, including Governor Gretchen Whitmer, joined MSU basketball coach Tom Izzo. The crowd started gathering around the statue of Sparty near Spartan Stadium and walked to The Rock. The Rock is serving as a gathering place for mourners. Its message now reads, "Always a Spartan." Brian, Ariel, and Alexandria. Mourners heard from speakers who gave messages of shared pain, but also hope. Tonight, Grand Valley students are hosting a vigil tonight at the Clock Tower at the Allendale campus at 7 p.m. Students are encouraged to wear green and white.